morning. Good morning, good morning. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Or do you see the title screen? I don't know what's going on. This is madness. This is madness. What's up, guys? David, good morning. To the Burger King. How'd the Burger King ads look? Sorry, my throat's a little messed up today. But what's going on? MP, good morning. How are you doing? How's everyone going? How's everyone doing in the family? How's baby? How's the house? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, we're here. That was a little weird. The title screen on StreamYard was still there, but on Twitch, it wasn't. So I saw myself. So didn't know what was going on. Great, man. Glad you guys are all doing good. Let's see. Yesterday was Topps Chrome Day. I don't know how you guys did or what you guys went through, but I went through a bunch of shenanigans, and yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm glad, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm gonna rip with my kids, but it will be happening. Might do it Friday evening or Saturday, but we're going to be going out of town this weekend, so I might just push it all the way till next weekend and just let those boxes cook for a little bit, and just see what happens. Maybe let my other boxes come in. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little actually worn out, to tell you the truth. Like I said, yesterday was not a score day for me. I went to 6 GameStops and struck out at each one. The high point of the day was the very first one. I got to the closest one to me, like literally right down the street. And Daniel showed up, so I got to meet him, his wife, and his 2 kids. That was probably the highlight of the day, and then it was all downhill from then up until a point when I got home and was able to kind of take that off and switch over into being home and then enjoy the evening. But yeah. Buddy?
Good morning, Tom.
Looking dapper out of the shower. Hair's ripping.
I spent about 45 seconds preening behind backstage because my hair looked weird at a certain angle. I certainly can't do that live.
Yeah, I'm always trying to mess with these angles.
How's the yeah, it's never the same angle. And It annoys me that I think that in depth about it. But I'm probably gonna do it again. How are the allergies? Heard you were a little sniffly. The past
now it's affected my throat, right? You know, like your nose gets all plugged up, so then you breathe through your mouth for a little bit, and then your throat hurts because you're overusing that area. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm hoping that's where I'm at. It very well could be actual sickness and not just allergies. So we shall see how the rest of the day goes and into tomorrow. Hopefully I can recover in those 2 days and it doesn't affect my whole weekend, because we are planning a little mini Mother's Day vacation. Or we have a mini Mother's Day vacation that's been planned for a while now with our little friend group. So I think I actually don't know. It's at least 3 of the families. It very well could be all 5.
Is that the same group that you went on a trip was it Christmas or beginning of the year?
Yeah, it was in February for someone's birthday out to Tennessee. And then this is a repeat trip. We did this trip last summer as well. It's just a local place called Palm Springs, not too far from our house, like an hour and a half. And we're just going to stay in one of those, hotels that has a pool with a water slide and just kind of hang. So it should be a good time.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah, the weather's supposed to be like in the 90s, so it'll be hot out of the pool and nice and cool in the pool. So
is the water slide for adults
yeah, the adults
or
can do it.
can
Yeah,
it fit
they
adults?
have like a mini version where it's just like, even like babies can rock the little one, and then the bigger one you can actually get some speed on, and the kids have fun. The adults go down and try their hardest not to get bruised or bumped or anything like that.
Hmm.
Like old people do.
So I thought about you the other night.
Right on.
I was looking at a picture album. My mom brought out a few picture albums. I'm lying. I actually just thought about you while you were talking, but now I'm connecting you to what I did the other night. Um, but I was looking through some picture albums my mom brought out from New Jersey the other day, looking for a specific picture, and they're from my grandmother.
Hmm.
Uh, and the album spanned from like the 1920s up until like the mid 90s. And what comes to mind while you were like talking about this friend group you're in? How long would you say you've been in touch with this friend group?
Well, so it started when we moved out there, like so 4 years ago, but then we kind of lost touch for about a year or so, and then we just reconnected last year. So 4 years
Sorry, say say
max.
that, say that one more time.
4 years, a
Four
little
years.
on and off.
So the albums I was looking at, my grandmother was, I would say, in the nearest terms, I would use the word socialite. Not
Okay.
like not like high money socialite, but like in the way that she kept in touch with friends very well.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pictures that I saw were of her friends, and they seemed to do a lot of traveling to see these people, or her friends came out to visit. And the picture albums did a really good job of documenting these people from like their 20s in the 1920s all the way
Hmm.
until their 90s.
Dang.
So like the beginning of the book is like marriage announcements, World War II pictures, and then towards the end is when these friends started emailing each other. So a lot of the emails that were printed out were like, "Hey, still getting used to this technology, but hi, everything's in capitals." And then ultimately, there's like death announcements printed out and put in the album.
Ooh.
So, and this was all like 10 o'clock at night when I was tired and I was like, I gotta go to bed. But like this journey is really striking a chord right now because we are in the middle of it.
Yeah. That's
Um,
really cool.
yeah, so it was definitely a heartwarming touch of mortality that night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things like I always, you always think about that line where it's like you never know you're in the good old days until it's too late or like
The golden days, good old days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But I mean basically like every version of your life is going to be a good old days, a remember when, you try to tell your kids like enjoy this part of your life. I know it seems very difficult being in, middle school or high school or grade school, like whatever version of school you're in or whatever, especially if they have older siblings. Um, I find that my younger ones are each younger one is like, it's not, maybe I think it's envious because I don't think it's jealous. Maybe it's envious of their older, and it's like, yeah, but and the older one hasn't gotten to that point where they're like, oh, I really wish I was some things they're like, I really wish I was, younger, but I don't think they're going to hit that until they're a little bit older. Um, and so it's just kind of like a funny thing about life where you just don't even, you know, you don't realize it, or you have to stop and tell yourself like, yeah, I'm going to miss this, and I really should appreciate it more. But it's hard to get yourself out of the, thinking, oh man, I missed something in the past, or oh, in the future I'm going to miss this kind of thing, and just stay in the present as much as possible.
Yeah, me and Kristen talked about that last night. We're running red. It's the end of the year. We got 2 weeks left, and we were sitting in bed. We had to talk individually with all three girls because things just kind of went off the rails last night, energy wise. Everybody was upset, and everybody
Mm.
was annoyed at the other kid uh, for something. And I was like, "Do we have any days that we don't do anything?" And Wednesday is supposed to be our nothing day, but I didn't get back with my youngest until 7:30, or no, all the kids, because they decided to have a surprise play date, which me and the other parents allowed. So that was like
Yeah.
time away. So right now we have mid-afternoon Sunday as our free time.
Mid-afternoon Sunday.
Yeah. We got a Saturday is like an all-day soccer day. We have to drive down to Colorado Springs, which is about 2 hours for a doubleheader soccer game with 12-year-old girls.
Ooh. And the whole family's going down, or just
They're
like, is it a big one?
Kristen's driving separately for the second game. My Our awesome head coach rented a 15-passenger van to take the family. Volunteered me to be the passenger to manage the energy. I am definitely getting earplugs for us both.
You're like, you show up with a piece of plexiglass, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna put this right behind us, like we're driving a jail bus.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, that's an amazing idea to like get a bus and put them all together, but then it's like, oh shoot, I have to drive that, and I probably need another parent who, um, because the girls are gonna have a blast, getting to be all in the same car together, and when they have fun comes noise. So, and it's very hard to, as a parent or as a person, even just sitting next to that, it's like it, it's one of those things where it's like, man, that is so loud and annoying. I wish you didn't do that. And then you have to like turn your perspective and say, oh, they're being that loud because they're having fun, because they're enjoying this, because, head coach and me uh, threw ourselves on this grenade and offered to take the kids all in one vehicle. But yeah, it's going to be a very special, like, fun bonding moment for all the girls. And you guys just have to know that you're a part of it, even
It's
though
going
it's
to
going to
be
be annoying.
loud. It's going to be
It's
memorable.
just I liken it to you being a teacher. It's the same thing. Like,
That's it's my element. I'm just going to do it on a Saturday instead, which is great.
yeah,
Looking forward to it.
on the day when
Hey,
you did want to do it,
give me a second. I gotta go corral a dog barking really loud.
get it done, man. David, David, what's going on, little bud David? It's hard when you realize the questions you wanted to ask your parents, grandparents. Great, you get it. Ask questions now. I mean, like I said, it's hard to know that you have that last moment or those final moments or those final whatever with people. Um, yeah, earplugs. I can tell you 14-year-old volleyball stories. Yeah, exactly that kind of stuff. David knows. He knows the pain.
Yeah, that's incoming for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
we got to go to the band, my daughter's band, final band concert last night. And I think this is I mean, we've gone to a bunch of these little events and they're always the same. And it's so exhausting for me to go to these events and see just like the sheer amount of kids and parents that they put in these things and that they corral into this to this gym, to the outdoor area. They get, four taco trucks, like not all tacos, but like four different like food trucks, and the lines are just insane. and no, that part of it is just exhausting to me. But then you sit there and you look and you see that like it's just a room full of parents and aunts and uncles and grandparents and family members and just all enjoying and supporting the kids. And they actually do, like, this music teacher, he's amazing. Like, and my daughter, who, you know, has very mixed emotions about teachers, doesn't really get along with a lot of them, but she really likes him. He runs a very tight ship. Like, you can see it, like the way that he interacts with the kids and the way that he preps for everything. And they did a really good job. Like, it wasn't obnoxious, or anything like that. I mean, it was sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. So it was awesome. It was really cool. And I just had to get over the fact that, like, the parking lot was madness, and that I had been awake since 3 a.m. and uh, you know I'd got my butt handed to me all day by GameStops, and the food truck lines were what felt like forever. And then I had to wolf down a burning hot pizza because it was also open house. So then we had to, like, go across campus uh, to go through her room and look at all of her artwork and say hi to her teacher and say hi to her friends, and then jam all the way back to the crowded gym and sit on hard benches. It was an event. Yeah, and then when I got home, I took the early bus home with the grandparents because I'm old like that, and I passed out before wife and kids even came home. And then about 10 seconds into my sleep, my wife comes and she's like, "There's a noise coming from the attic. Can you look at it?" And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So I had to go down to the garage, get the ladder, get the flashlight, go up, jump into the attic. And I'm like, "It's fine, honey. It's just the fan. Like, don't worry about it. I've never heard it that loud." I'm like, "I don't know what to tell you. I'm really too tired for this. I'm not crawling in the attic right now."
That sounds like every major school event in one night.
It was. It was.
And
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 it's
you're not
just,
and you're not going to remember the uncomfortable bench, and you're not going to
no,
remember
no,
the
no,
parking
no.
lot. You're going to remember the good things and the
Yeah.
raccoon that was in the attic. That's what you're going to
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
and it's
No,
going
it's
to be
just,
a story.
yeah, it's just it's a long week. I'm so excited for this weekend. I made myself a note to do my best, make my best effort today and tomorrow, especially in the line of lining things up so that I don't have to be here on Monday. Because the plan for the trip is to be from Saturday to Monday. But I have a plan B of driving separately so that if I need to, I can leave at like 4 a.m. on Monday and still come to work. But I'm going to try to do my best today and tomorrow to make it so I don't have to work on Monday, because I could really use 3 days by the pool after this last
I
couple
wish
of
you the
weeks.
best with that. You deserve it. Mom deserves it more, but you also deserve it too.
Right? It's Mother's Day, but I'm like, I need to relax. Well, I mean, I've already been told, like, my job is to make sure that her drink is always full, and that, like, she can be in her little mom group, like in the pool or on the lounge chairs, but that the dads are taking the kids. And I'm
Hmm.
like, cool, it's fine.
Oh, kids with you. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Thought it
husbands.
was thought
It's
it
the
was
whole
adult.
family. Yeah, there's a baby or two involved. It's the whole thing. It's the whole jam.
Well, I trust you to do that with intention successfully,
It's the
and
plan,
your
man.
wife will enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about creative punishment.
Ooh, shoot! I forgot about the reading, and this reading was interesting. What did you
It
think
was
about
it
it?
was it was straightforward. It was on the nose. It was good for me. I've been off my habit wagon for the past since Sunday, um, and I'm really feeling disconnected with how I operate my mornings. So this was a good reading to get back into. Um, this applies to both my teaching and parenting. I've done both kinds of punishments when it's punitive and I'm just emotional and angry.
Yep.
But I've also been able to do really mindful of it, especially in, I would say, more in my classroom than in home, actually. Um, my one example is when I'm mindful about punishment. Aside from like calling parents and having to wrap in administration, I would say I'm good at like keeping issues inside of my room. That was one of my interview questions, was like, well, how do you handle students that are, getting out of hand? And I'm like, I usually keep it in my room because it's a lot of energy to take breaks, write emails, call parents.
Yeah.
So the better that I can resolve it in the room, or the easier that I can resolve it in the room, kind of works out for everybody. Specific example, sweeping floors, washing paint covered things, organizing stuff that was messed up that I previously very carefully arranged, but then the kid comes in and just messes everything up. Most of the time, the punishments are organization and repairing the room. You might even say restorative justice. Those are my creative punishments. Maybe not creative. Maybe it is because it's in our room. But the things that create a benefit for other people rather than just the punitive, we're calling mom or we're calling dad or you're going to the office.
Yeah.
That just usually ends up in a break and then they're back in the room sometimes. Which is also, sometimes it's just a walk down the hall. Sometimes that's all the students need is a quick walk. And at home last night, I raised my voice to my 6-year-old because I was emotional and tired. Good talk with my middle child. No punishments there, but had a really good connection point, and I thought this would have been a really great discussion for Ryan because he's a middle child, and the discussion was my middle kid is feeling very middle kiddish, and
Yep.
she's not enjoying it. And she kind of broke down. She was like, being the middle kid is hard. Like not feeling like she's getting the energy from mom and dad. So, and that comes up a few times a year. And then my oldest was annoyed by the other two because she also doesn't feel like she's getting all of her energy. So it's kind of like me and Kristen are running at 110% and the kids need 120%. That's where we're currently at.
Yeah. It's definitely that, like, that kind of seems like the norm for parenting, especially, with multiple kids. I like that you have the dual perspective of teaching and parenting at home. I could see a way that, you're having to think harder, and find these creative punishments, because obviously, like, you can't yell at the kids or punish them the way you'd punish your own children, because those aren't your kids. They have parents of their own. You have a boss to deal with in a principal or administrator.
Awesome administration, Westview Middle School, Longmont, Colorado. Best principal.
Shout out. Yeah, so that's good for you. Like, that's good for you. That's good for your wife. That's good for your family. Like, because it helps you with that perspective. I think on mine, I don't have that, and I can see where this reading is very helpful for me because I'm definitely more of the emotional one, and so that's why I kind of sit on the sidelines and let my wife handle it as much as she can until I need to step in. But I often come off as the big bad guy, because I'll let her deal with it her way. But I think we could benefit from creative punishment in our household, because what we do now, or whatever we're doing, it doesn't seem to work. And I can see the value in this, where it's like, no matter what, I don't think I don't think punishment or some sort of consequence really affects the child's mind. Like I remember, like if I'm thinking back to my childhood, it doesn't really matter what my mom, dished out. I was still gonna do whatever I was gonna do, um, until it wasn't fun, or until it wasn't interesting, or until it wasn't, something. So I think this version of it is like, yeah, the kids are gonna do what the kids are gonna do. Like they're gonna test the boundaries. They're gonna do, they're gonna poke and prod their brother and sister. They're going to do whatever they're gonna do, and you're gonna, check them. You're gonna, tell them, hey, that's not okay. And it's just like a cycle that kind of like never ends until they leave. But like this makes sense, because if it just becomes a thing where it's like, hey, you did something wrong to your sibling, and now I'm going to yell at you, then like nothing comes of that. But if it's like, hey, you did something wrong to your sibling, so now I want you to, you know clean this, or go on a run, or whatever these creative punishments are, it's getting that nervous energy out of them in a different way. It's throwing them for a loop, because they're like, wait, you're not going to just yell at me and ground me. Um, and then it's also, helping them build these habits, or maybe learning something new, right? Like washing dishes, what have you. But
Yeah,
I like
I don't
it.
even know if creative is the good way is the way to put it. Great title,
Yeah.
love the title. I would say
Well, I don't
maybe
even like the term punishment either. I think that just makes everyone's brain go towards, like the negative and stuff like that. So yeah, I like that he put a creative next to the word punishment. It's very interesting.
maybe creative consequences, or maybe mindful punishments. Being mindful
Yeah.
of what you want the lesson to be at the end of it, which is not always what comes to mind first, especially with their own kids.
Yeah.
Usually it's stop doing that thing, not how to adjust how it affects others.
Yes, sir. Um, Man, we got some lurkers today, dude. I see you back there, Paul. I see you, Dan. What's up, guys? Good
Yeah,
morning. I hope you're
I,
doing
s-
well. Listening back there.
I was gonna say good morning to them as well.
I didn't see Dylan pop in today, but he's always our stage 10 lurker. Tom Cruise packed my coffee parachute, jumping out of the Daily Dads plane. Hearts and mugs, full team. I love David's like leaving. He makes it fun and interesting that he's leaving us. Very scheduled man. Have a good day. Um, yeah.
Well,
Any
did David
any
leave?
lasting thoughts?
Um, Whoever quoted the 9+ day. I'm
Oh
having
yeah.
trouble tracking down what it is. I want to put it on a shirt. David, I think it might have been you, or it might have been MP, but I want to find whatever that 9+ saying was, because I want to get it right. I want to put on a shirt, because
Yeah.
I inherited a bunch of shirts for that. Final thoughts. I don't have any final thoughts. I'm battling through this week.
Oh man. I mean, me too. What was I was listening to a podcast on the way to work, and they were talking about, how like how you get sick after like a stressful week.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I that hit me so hard while I was driving. I'm like, that's what's happening to me. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm I'm
that's your
gonna
body physically
crash so
repulsing.
hard this weekend and just die.
Yeah,
Um,
I totally get that.
so chat, like 100%, I'll be here tomorrow. Most likely be here Saturday, but I will most likely not see you guys Sunday and Monday. But yeah, everyone,
Sun is on my forehead. I am banded like a bandit. It is
I know
time.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for these earlier sunrises. I mean, I'm missing them all because they literally happen while I'm in this closed room, but I can see over the shit on my desk out there that it's light out and people are awake. So
I
yeah,
look like
let's
I have
go get after
a
it.
on my face. That was quick.
Just came out of nowhere. All right,
Matches
man.
my shirt. Great. All right, y'all.
You have a good day, buddy.
Good to
I'll
see you
talk to you
guys.
later. And Paul, I'm sorry. Baby's resisting. You know, I think we warned you that it was going to be easy, and then it was going to be hard, and then it might go back to easy. So it's parenthood, bud. We love you. I don't know why I clicked that screen so quickly.
No,
See you,
I think
buddy.
it's great. I like it. Good closing. All right. See you, Dom.